So good morning all. So welcome to yet another session of live problem solving. So this is based on the practice test that we have conducted last Sunday. So these are again some of the important questions that has been frequently asked in both AEEE and JEE exams. So I request all the students to listen to the session carefully, and if you have any queries, you can just type it in the Q&A box. So by the end of the session, we will try to solve almost all your queries. So first of all, I would like to introduce Lakshmi ma'am. She has been taking this live session for past few weeks. So she has an ample years of experience in teaching field. So currently she is in Amrita. She is doing online session to certain schools and all other students also, online and live classes. So welcome ma'am, welcome Lakshmi ma'am for this session. So again, this is the same session, same live session based on the last Sunday's practice test. So just listen, be attentive, and if you have any queries, you can just type it in the Q&A box. We will try to solve all your queries also. So welcome, ma'am. I think we can start the session now. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So let me share my slides. Yeah, I think all of you can view it now. Yeah, I think everyone can view it. Yeah, okay. So we'll start our session today. Today we'll be discussing the questions of mathematics in the last Sunday's examination. So these are all the previous questions of AEEE entrance exam or JEE questions. So let's discuss the questions one by one. So the first question is, consider the circle x square plus y square equal to 9 and the parabola y square equal to 8x. They intersect at P and Q in the first and fourth quadrants respectively. So we are given two equations here, a circle with x square plus y square equal to 9 and a parabola with y square equal to 8x. So these parabola and the circle, they are intersecting at points P and Q, P in the first and Q in the fourth quadrant. Then it is given that tangents to the circle P and Q intersect the x-axis at R. So the tangents at the circle P and Q intersect at R, and the tangents to the parabola P and Q, parabola at the points P and Q, they intersect the x-axis at the point S. So let's see how we can solve this question. In this question, the question is the radius of the incircle of the triangle, it is given as wrong, it is PQR. The radius of the incircle of the triangle PQR is. Okay. So here, this is the diagram of the question. We are just drawing the diagram. So here we are given a circle and a parabola. The equation of circle is x square plus y square equal to 9 and parabola is y square equal to 8x. So we draw the circle and the parabola here. And in the question it is given that both of them intersect at the points P and Q. P point in the first quadrant and Q in the fourth quadrant. Then the tangents at P and Q from the parabola, they meet at the point S in the x-axis, and from the circle they meet at the point R in the x-axis. So this is given in the question, and it is asked to find the area of PQR. Sorry, I'll check it. Okay, the radius of incircle of triangle PQR. We are asked to find the radius of incircle of triangle PQR. So in the question, we have y square equal to 8x. So substituting that in the equation of circle, we can find the roots. So x square plus y square equal to 9 is the equation of the circle. In that, we are substituting y square equal to 8x. So we have the equation as x square plus 8x equal to 9. Now we can solve this equation x square plus 8x minus 9 equal to 0. We have two roots, x plus 9 and x minus 1. So x equal to minus 9 and x equal to 1. The negative value is not possible, so we take the positive value. So the value of x becomes 1. Now solving for y, that is, we know y square equal to 8x. X is 1. So y becomes plus or minus 2 root. So after solving these two equations, we obtain the values for x and y. Now we have to find out the value of p and q. So p is 1 plus 2 root 2 and q is 1 minus 2 root 2. So we got the points for the p and q, got the values for p and q. Now we have to find the points of intersection, that is R and S. We have an equation of circle and the equation of parabola. So substituting in the equation of circle, x square plus y square equal to 9. We know that we can write it as x1 plus y1 equal to 9. We have the value of x1 and y1, that is 1, 2 root 2. So this equation can be rewritten as x plus 2 root 2 y equal to 9. And here we know that the value of y equal to 0. So substituting y equal to 0, we got the value of x as 9. So the point R becomes 9, 0. So the point R becomes 9, 0. Similarly, from the equation of parabola, we know that it is y square equal to 8x. 8x can be rewritten as 4ax. So y1 equal to 4 into x1. We have y1 and x1 value. So substituting, we have 2 root 2 into y equal to 4 into x plus 1. When y equal to 0, we got the value of x as minus 1. So point S can be found by minus 1, 0. Sorry, point Q. Okay, so the point, okay, I have written it wrong. It is point S, it is minus 1, 0. So we got all the points. Now what we have to find? We have to find out radius of incircle of triangle PQR. We have the values of P, Q and R. And the radius of incircle is area by S. So we have to find the area of triangle PQR and then we have to divide it by S. So how we can find the area of PQR? We can apply the equation half into half BH. So it is half into PQ into RT. Once we have the values of each point, we can find the length of lines. So PR and TR or RT. So it is the B. That is half into B into H. That TR is the B and PR is the distance. So area of triangle PQR is equal to half into PQ into RT. So how to find PQ? We have the coordinates of P and Q. So root of x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1. So we have the value of PQ as 4 root 2. Similarly, RT we can find out. RT is, we have the point O, it is 1, 0. We have the point T, then R, it is 9, 0. So solving, we can find the distance of RT. So RT becomes 8. So it becomes area of triangle PQR is equal to half into PQ into RT. So it becomes half into 4 root 2 into 8. So area of triangle PQR becomes 16 root 2. Now we have the value of delta, that is the area of triangle PQR. We have to find the value of S. So we know that S is equal to A plus B plus C by 2. So A is PQ, B is QR and C is PR. So A plus B plus C by 2 becomes PQ plus QR plus PR by 2. We have to find the value of PQ, QR and PR. We have the points of all the values, so we can easily find out the distance of PQ, QR and PR. So PQ becomes 4 root 2, QR becomes 6 root 2 and PR is also 6 root 2. So S is equal to A plus B plus C by 2. So substituting those values, we can have S as 8 root 2. So we have area of radius of incircle equal to area by S. So we have the value of area as 16 root 2 and S we found it as 8 root 2. So the area becomes 16 root 2 by 8 root 2, that is equal to 2. So in this question, they have given only the equation of circle and parabola. We have to, and also the points of intersection. We have to develop this question in a way to find out the value of each point, and then we can solve this question easily. Okay. Now the correct answer is option 2. So here we got it as 16 root 2 by 8 root 2. So it becomes 2. Now moving on to the next question, which is a simple one. If a polygon has 27 diagonals, the number of its sides is. If a polygon has 27 diagonals, we have to find the number of sides. We know the equation to find the number of sides. Sorry, the equation is written as wrong. The polygon has given 27 diagonals, number of sides. Number of sides is equal to n into n minus 3 by 2. Here, the diagonals is given as 27. So n into n minus 3 by 2 equal to 27. So we can rewrite the equation as n into n3 equal to 54. So n square minus 3n minus 54 equal to 0. We can rewrite this equation as a quadratic equation and we can solve for the roots of this equation. So solving for the roots of the equation, we have n plus 6 into n minus 9. So n becomes minus 6 or 9. We know that the number of sides will be positive. So we will choose 9 as the option. So question number 2, we have 9 as the option. That is option C. We have to know the equation to find the number of diagonals, n into n minus 3 by 2, and the number of diagonals is given as 27. Substituting and solving, we can have the value of number of sides as 9. Okay. So moving on to the next question, question number 3. The point represented by the complex number z, for which arc of z minus 2 by z plus 2 equal to pi by 3 is a circle whose center is. So we have the point represented by complex number z. It is given that arc of z minus 2 by z plus 2 equal to pi by 3. It is given as a circle and we have to find the center. So, yeah. We know that z equal to x plus iy. It is given that z is a complex number. We have the format z is equal to x plus iy. So we can replace z minus 2 by z plus 2 as x plus iy minus 2 by x plus iy plus 2. Simply substituting z as x plus iy. So we can rearrange this equation as x minus 2 plus iy by x plus 2 plus iy. Okay. Now we are multiplying this equation through the conjugate. So we have z minus 2 by z plus 2, just multiplying, cross multiplying it, we can have the value as z minus 2 by z plus 2 equal to x square plus 4iy minus 4 plus y square by x plus 2 the whole square plus y square. This I square becomes 1, so it becomes x plus 2 whole square plus y square. We can rewrite this equation as z minus 2 by z plus 2 equal to x square minus 4y plus y square divided by x plus 2 whole square plus y square plus I into 4y by x plus 2 whole square plus y square. And we know that argument of z is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So we can rewrite this equation as tan inverse of y means this is in the format of x plus iy. We have developed this equation in the format of x plus iy. We have the value of y as 4y by x plus 2 whole square plus y square and x as x minus 4 plus y, sorry, x square minus 4 plus y square by x plus 2 whole square plus y square. So substituting it in tan inverse of y by x. So the denominator term gets cancelled and we have the equation as tan inverse of 4y by x square minus 4 plus y square. It is given that it is a circle and the value is given as, which is equal to pi by 3. So substituting this tan of pi by 3. This tan inverse, we can replace it as 4y by x square minus 4 plus y square equal to tan of pi by 3. What is the value of tan pi by 3? Tan pi by 3 is root 3. So we can replace this equation as 4y by x square minus 4 plus y square equal to root 3. That is 4y by root 3 equal to x square minus 4 plus y square. We know the equation of circle, a general equation, we know it. It is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. So simply writing this equation in that terms, we have x square plus y square plus 0x minus 4 by 3y minus 4 equal to 0. We have the value of g and f here. So 2g is equal to 0, 2f is equal to minus 4 by root 3y. It is minus 4 by root 3. So f we can write this as minus 4 by 2 root 3. So f becomes minus 2 by root 3. So we have the g component as 0 and the f as minus 2 by root 3. So in the question, it is asked to find out the point number. So here we got the points as minus g minus f. So it becomes 0 minus 2 by root 3. So in this question, while checking among the option 0, 2 by root 3, the correct answer for this question is option A. Okay. So now moving on to the next question, which is a very simple question. In question number 4, it is asked to find out how many subsets can be formed from the set X, Y, Z. Number of subsets is equal to, we know the equation, it is equal to 2 raised to n. So the number of elements is 2 raised to 3, which is equal to 8 subsets. We know that the values are 5, x, y, z, x, y, y, z, x, z, x, y, z. Basics of the chapter, sets and relations. So the answer is option C. That is 8 is the answer. 8 is option C. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. If the coefficients of x cube and x raised to 4 in the expansion of 1 plus ax plus bx square into 1 minus 2x whole raised to 18 in the powers of x are both 0, then AB is equal to. So we have an expansion given 1 plus ax plus bx square into 1 minus 2x whole raised to 18. And in the question, it is clearly given that the coefficients of x cube and x raised to 4 in the expansion in the powers of x are both 0. So the powers of x cube, while equating the coefficients of x cube and x raised to 4, we can say that it is equal to 0. And it is asked to find out AB. Okay, now let's see how we can solve this question. We have the general equation of 1 minus x whole raised to n. So 1 minus 2x whole raised to 18 is in the similar format. So we are expanding this as 1 plus ax plus bx whole square into 1 minus 2x whole raised to 18 equal to 1 plus ax plus bx square into 1 minus x whole raised to n becomes 18c0 minus 18c1 2x plus 18c2 2x square minus 18c3 2x cube plus 18c4 2x raised to 4 plus etc. So from this equation in the question, the coefficient of x cube and x raised to 4 is given as 0. So equating the coefficients of x cube and x raised to 4 from the equation. So here, the coefficient of x cube is minus 18c3 2 cube. That is the first one. The second one becomes 18c2 into 2 square a. Considering this value also, we are taking the coefficients. So we have 18c2 2 square into a minus this term becomes minus 18c1 2b equal to 0. So simply expanding this 18c3, 18c2, 18c1 and solving this, we will have an equation. So this becomes 18c3 is minus 18 into 7 into 16 by 3 into 2 into 2 cube is 8 plus 18 into 17 by 2 into 4a plus minus 18 into 2b equal to 0. So on solving this, we can have an equation like 12 into minus 3b plus 51a minus 544 equal to 0. That is minus 3b plus 51a minus 544 is equal to 0. Similarly, we are going to equate the coefficient of x raised to 4. So the coefficient, first coefficient becomes 18c4 2 raised to 4 minus 18c3 2 cube a plus 18c2 2 square b equal to 0. So expanding this, we can have another equation as 12 into 17 into 3b minus 32a plus 240 equal to 0. So we have two equations. While expanding the coefficients of x cube equal to 0, substituting the coefficients of x cube equal to 0 and coefficients of x raised to 4 equal to 0, we have two equations. Now what we are going to do is we are going to solve these two equations and we are going to find the value of a and b. So solve these two equations and we can have the value of A as 16 and B equal to 272 by 3. So it becomes 16 comma 272 by 3. Now we can check among the option. We have option A as the correct answer, 16 comma 272 by 3. Okay. So here, this question we have the equation and the expansion coefficients are given as 0. So simply equating the coefficients and developing two equations and solving those two equations, we can obtain the value of A and B. Okay. Now moving on to the next question, that is question number 6. The value of A for which the system A cube x plus A plus 1 whole cube y plus A plus 2 whole cube z equal to 0. The next equation is Ax plus A plus 1 y plus A plus 2 z equal to 0. Then next equation is x plus y plus z equal to 0 has a non-zero solution is. So we have to find the value of A and we are given three equations and it is given that they have a non-zero solution. So we have to solve these three equations and we have to find out the value of A. Okay. So these are the three equations and that is A cube x plus A plus 1 whole cube y plus A plus 2 whole cube z equal to 0. Ax plus A plus 1 y plus A plus 2 z equal to 0 and x plus y plus z equal to 1, given that it is having a non-zero solution. So we are equating this. So finding the determinant, we have A cube, A plus 1 whole cube, A plus 2 whole cube. Here the coefficients are A plus 1, A plus 2 and the last one is 1, 1, 1. For x, y and z, the coefficients are 1, 1, 1. So here we have to change this determinant into, change the column C2 to C2 minus C1. That is column 2 minus column 1. So this column 2, we are replacing it with C2 minus C1 and column 3, we are replacing it with C3 minus C2. This is very simple. You have to give the column 1 remains the same. So the column 1 becomes A cube A1. Now the column 2 is column 2 minus column 1. This is A plus 1 whole cube minus A cube. So we have 3A square plus 3A plus 1. Here in the second row, it becomes A plus 1 minus A. So it is 1. Here it becomes 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. And the third column, it is C3 minus C2. We have this column as C3 and this is C1. It is A plus 2 whole cube minus A plus 1 whole cube. So expanding and removing all the terms, we can have it as 3A square plus 9A plus 7. The next column becomes A plus 2 minus A plus 1. It becomes 1. And the last one is 1 minus 1, which becomes 0. You can find these two values by simply expanding it and solving it. Now what we are going to do is we are going to expand along the third row. So it is 1 into, we have the term 3A square plus 3A plus 1 minus 3A square plus 9A plus 7. So taking this negative to inside, we have it as 3A square plus 3A plus 1 minus 3A square minus 9A minus 7. So 3A square gets cancelled and 3A minus 9A becomes minus 6A plus 1 minus 7 becomes minus 6. So which is equal to 0. That is minus 6A minus 6 equal to 0. So we can obtain the value of A by solving it as A is equal to minus 1. So simply finding the determinant and expanding the terms. We can have the value for A in this equation. Okay. So here the correct answer is option D. That is minus 1 is the answer for the question. It is option D. Now moving on to the next question. It is, let alpha and beta be the roots of the equation x square minus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. So we have an equation x square minus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. And it is given that an is equal to alpha raised to n minus beta raised to n for every n which is greater than or equal to 1. Then it is asked to find out the value of A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9. Okay, let's see how we can find the value. We need to have A10, A8 and A9. Okay. So this is what is given in the question. So alpha n is equal to, an is equal to alpha raised to n minus beta raised to n. So we can find out A10, A8 and A9 similarly. So A10 is equal to alpha raised to 10 minus beta raised to 10. Similarly, A8 is equal to alpha raised to 8 minus beta raised to 8. A9 is equal to alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. So substituting the values in the question, that is, it is asked to find A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9. So substituting alpha raised to 10 minus beta raised to 10 in place of A10 minus 2 into A8 becomes alpha raised to 8 minus beta raised to 8 divided by 2 into A9. A9 becomes alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. So now what we are going to do is we are taking common as alpha raised to 8 from the alpha terms. So it is alpha raised to 10 and 2 into alpha raised to 8. So alpha raised to 8 into alpha square minus 2. Similarly, from beta raised to 10, we are taking beta raised to 8 outside. So alpha raised to 8 into alpha square minus 2 minus beta raised to 8 into beta square minus 2 divided by 2 into alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. So we have the equation now as alpha raised to 8 into alpha square minus 2 minus beta raised to 8 into beta square minus 2 by 2 into alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. And it is given in the question that alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x square minus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. So we can rewrite this equation as alpha square minus 6 alpha minus 2 equal to 0. From this, we can find the value of alpha square minus 2. Alpha square minus 2, we can have it as 6 alpha. Here it is equal to 6 alpha. Similarly, we can find the value of beta square minus 2 as 6 beta. So we can substitute the value 6 alpha and 6 beta in the place of alpha square minus 2 and beta square minus 2. So A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9, the equation becomes alpha raised to 8 into this alpha square minus 2 becomes 6 alpha minus beta raised to 8 into this beta square minus 2 becomes 6 beta whole divided by 2 into alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. So we can write this as 6 alpha raised to 9 minus 6 beta raised to 9. Because alpha raised to 8 into alpha, it becomes alpha raised to 9. So 6 alpha raised to 9 minus 6 beta raised to 9 by 2 into alpha raised to 9 minus beta raised to 9. So these terms got cancelled and we have it as 6 by 2, which is equal to 3. So we found the value of A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9 is equal to 3. Okay. So the answer for this question is 3. We can find the option. The answer for the question is 3. That is, the option is option C. So in this question, we have the roots and we are asked to find A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9. So simply changing what all things are given in the question and arranging it in a form to get the answer. Get the value for A10 minus 2A8 by 2A9. So we got the answer as 3. That is option C. Now moving on to the next question, question number 8. If tan A and tan B are the roots of the quadratic equation 3x square minus 10x minus 25 equal to 0, then the value of 3 into sine square of A plus B minus 10 into sine of A plus B into cos A plus B minus 25 cos square of A plus B is. So we have a quadratic equation given 3x square minus 10x and tan A and tan B are the roots of this equation. We have to find, we are replacing this equation as 3 into sine square of A plus B minus 10 into sine A plus B into cos A plus B minus 25 into cos square of A plus B. Okay, we have to find this answer for this question in an integer term. Okay. So from the equation, 3x square minus 10x minus 25 equal to 0 and tan A and tan B are the roots of the equation. It is given. We can find the sum of roots and product of roots. The sum of roots becomes tan A plus tan B, which is equal to minus B by A, which becomes 10 by 3, minus of minus 10 by 3, which becomes 10 by 3. And the product of roots is tan A into tan B, which becomes E by A, that is minus 25 by 3. So we have tan A plus tan B and tan A into tan B. And we have to find the value of 3 into sine square of A plus B minus 10 into sine of A plus B into cos A plus B minus 25 cos square A plus B. So we can find the value of tan A plus B using the equation. Tan of A plus B equal to tan A tan B minus 1, tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Tan of A plus B equal to tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. We have the value of tan A plus B and tan A into tan B. So substituting this as 10 by 3 and minus 25 by 3, we have tan A plus B equal to 5 by 14. Now we are asked to find out this value. So what we are going to do is multiplying and dividing this equation by cos square of A plus B. We can replace this equation in terms of tan. So it becomes 3 into sine square A plus B minus 10 sine of A plus B into cos A plus B minus 25 cos square A plus B by cos square A plus B into cos square A plus B. So this sine square and cos square becomes tan square. One cos gets cancelled, then sine by cos becomes tan. This cos square and this cos square got cancelled, and we have into cos square of A plus B. So we replace this equation to a smaller one. Where except this cos square A plus B, everything is in the form of tan. Now this cos square A plus B, we can write it as 1 by 1 plus tan square of A plus B. We are replacing this cos square of A plus B as 1 by 1 plus tan square of A plus B. In the question, we have already found the value of tan of A plus B and tan A into tan B. So now here it is asked 3 into tan square of A plus B. We know that tan A plus B equal to 5 by 14. So 3 into 5 by 14 whole square minus 10 into tan A plus B is 5 by 14 minus 25 into 1 by 1 plus tan square of A plus B is 5 by 14 whole square. So we have the values, numerical terms for all these expansions. So we substitute these terms and we are solving this equation. We will get the value as minus 25. So we are given a quadratic equation and just given that tan A and tan B are the roots of the equation, and we are asked to find the equation in the term of 3 into sine square A plus B minus 10 into sine A plus B cos A plus B minus 25 cos square of A plus B. So first we are finding the sum of roots and product of roots. That is tan A plus B and tan A into tan B. Okay. And from this two terms, we can find tan A plus B as tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. So we have all the values with us. So what we are going to do is multiplying and dividing this equation by cos square of A plus B. We can write every term in terms of tan. And we can write this cos square of A plus B as 1 by 1 plus tan square of A plus B. We have the value of each and all in terms of tan. So substituting these values and solving, we can have the value as minus 25. So now checking among the option C is the correct answer. That is minus 25 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now moving on to question number 9. It is a simple question. The mean deviation from the mean for the set of observations, it is given 5 observations, minus 2, 0, 2, 4, 6 is. The mean deviation from the mean for the set of observations minus 2, 0, 2, 4, 6 is. So these are the set of observations. That is, we know that number of terms is given as 5. And mean deviation from mean, the equation is sigma xi minus x bar by n. So here we have to find the value of x bar. So that is, we are finding the mean. That is sum of observations by number of observations. So it becomes minus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 by 2. It becomes 2. Now we have to find the distance from x bar to x. So distance from minus 2 to 2, it is 4. Distance from 0 to 2 is 2. Distance from 2 to 2 is 0. 4 to 2, 2. Then 6 to 2, it is 4. So we are just finding out the distance and substituting in this equation. This is a direct question. So sigma xi minus x bar, it becomes 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. And the number of observations is 8. So divided by 5, it becomes 12 by 5, which is equal to 2.4. So this is a simple question. We have the formula and we have to directly substitute after finding out the x bar and the distance from x bar. Okay. So this is a very simple question. After finding out the distance, just substitute in this formula and we can have the answer as 2.4. That is option C is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. That is question number 10. In question number 10, it is given that if 12 identical balls are to be placed in 3 identical boxes. We have 3 identical boxes and 12 identical balls are there. Then the probability that one of the boxes contain exactly 3 balls. We have 12 balls and 3 boxes, and we have to find the probability that one of the box contains exactly 3 balls from these 12 balls. Okay. Now we can check how we can solve this problem. So we know the equation P of E is equal to N of E by N of S. So N of S is the total number. So we are having 12 balls and 3 boxes. So we know that number of ways in which these 12 balls can be placed in the 3 identical boxes. We can write it as 3 raised to 12. Number of ways in which these 12 balls, 12 identical balls can be placed in 3 boxes is 3 raised to 12. Now we have to find out N of E. So there are 2 cases. The first one is that from these 12 balls, any 3 balls need to be selected. So we can write it as 12C3. So solving this becomes 12 into 11 into 10 by 6, which is equal to 220. If we select the 3 balls from the 12 identical balls, there is remaining of 9 balls. That 9 balls need to be kept in the remaining 2 boxes. So the number of ways in which these remaining balls to be selected is 2 raised to 9. So N of E becomes 220 into 2 raised to 9. Now we have the values. We can find the probability as N of E by N of S, which is equal to 220 into 2 raised to 9 divided by the total is 3 raised to 12. So 220 into 2 raised to 9 by 3 raised to 12. So 220 we can write it as 55 into 4 into 2 raised to 9 by 3 raised to 12. This 4 we can write it as 2 square. So we can have 55 by 3 into 2 raised to 11 by 3 raised to 11. That is 55 by 3 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 11. Okay. So the correct answer for this question is option A. 12 identical balls are to be placed in 3 identical boxes. From that, it is given that we have to find that one box contains exactly 3 balls. So we got the answer as 5 by 3 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 11. Number of ways in which we arrange this 12 balls is 3 raised to 12. And any 3 balls can be selected from that 12 balls is 12C3. And the remaining balls can be arranged in 2 raised to 9. So it becomes 55 by 3 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 11. And the next is a simple question. We have the value of sine theta and cos theta will be greatest when. We know the values of all these thetas. Just have to substitute and find out which one is larger. So sine 30 plus cos 30, sine 45 plus cos 45, sine 60 plus cos 60, sine 90 plus cos 90. A simple question. So substituting, simply we have the values with us. We know the values of sine and cos for all these angles. So substituting, we can have the value of sine 45 as greater, that is 1.41. No need to write all these questions and solve. You can just solve it by checking the question itself. Okay, we have the values, just substitute it and find out which one is greater. So 45 is the greater value. Sine theta becomes theta equal to 45 is the highest value. Now moving on to the next question. That is question number 12. Okay. Yeah. In question number 12, it is given that the value of the integral integral over 4 to 10 x square dx by x square minus 28x plus 196 plus x square. And here x is given as, it denotes the greatest integer less than or equal to x. X denotes the greatest integer that is less than or equal to x. So let's see how we can solve this question. So here, integral over 4 to 10 x square by x square plus x square minus 28 plus 196 dx. We can simply write this equation as equation A. Now we can use the definite integral property. We know that I is equal to integral of a to b f of x dx equal to integral of a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So applying this formula in the above equation. So f of a plus b minus x, we can rewrite our equation as 4 plus 10 minus x whole square by 4 plus 10 minus x minus 14 whole square plus 4 plus 10 minus x whole square. So simply substituting this and solving, we can have the equation as this one. That is I is equal to integral over 4 to 10 x minus 14 whole square by x square plus x minus 14 whole square dx. So after using this property, we are finding replacing this equation as this, and we are numbering it as equation number B. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add these two equations. So the equation one is I equal to integral over 4 to 10 x square by x square plus x square minus 28x plus 196x, and I is equal to, after using the property, we have I is equal to integral over 4 to 10 x minus 14 whole square by x square plus x minus 14 whole square. So we, after adding, we have 2i is equal to integral of 4 to 10. The first numerator becomes x square plus x minus 14 whole square. And the denominator is the same, x square plus this x square minus 28x plus 198. We can write this as x minus 14 whole square. So we add the numerators and it becomes x minus 14 whole square plus x square by x square plus x minus 14 whole square dx. So both the terms get cancelled. The numerator and the denominator gets cancelled, and we have it as 1. So 2i is equal to integral over 4 to 10 1 dx. So after applying the limit, it becomes 6. So 2i becomes 6. We have the value of I as 3. So you can use this formula and expand it and find how this reaches this term. Okay. So we have the answer I as 3. So the correct answer for this question is option D, that is 3. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. If the system of linear equations, 3 equations are given, that is x plus ky plus 3z equal to 0, 3x plus ky minus 2z equal to 0, 2x plus 4y minus 3z equal to 0, has a non-zero solution xyz. So these 3 equations has non-zero solutions. Then it is asked to find out xz by y square is equal to. We have to find out the value of xz by y square. So in this question, we have to find out the value of k. So we have the 3 equations, and it is given that the solution is non-zero. So we are taking the determinant. So solving the determinant, we have the equation minus 4k plus 44. From that, we can obtain the value of k. K is equal to 11. So after finding out the value of k, we are going to substitute it in k. That is k equal to 11. So these equations become x plus 11y plus 3z equal to 0. I name it as equation A. Then 3x plus 11y minus 2z equal to 0. It is equation B. The third one is 2x plus 4y minus 3z equal to 0. So we have 3 equations. Now we have to solve this for x, y, z. As in the question, it is asked to find out xz by y square. So we are adding the 2 equations A and B. So we'll get this equations as the z term will get cancelled after adding A and B. So we have 2x plus 3x plus 15y equal to 0. So from that, we can have an equation in terms of x equal to minus 15 by 3y. That becomes minus 5y. Now we are substituting this minus 5y x in terms of y in equation C, and we can have the value of z. So the equation becomes 2 into x becomes minus 5y. So 2 into minus 5y plus 4y minus 3z equal to 0. So we have minus 10y plus 4y. It becomes minus 6y. So we have minus 6y equal to 3z. So z becomes minus 2y. So we have the value of x and z in terms of y. So we can easily find out x is z by y square. We have x and z in terms of y. So substituting the value of x as minus 5y and z as minus 2y, we have 10y square by y square equal to minus 10. Because in the question it is given that x z by y square. So x is minus 5y and z is minus 2y. So it becomes 10y square by y square. The y square gets cancelled and we have the value of minus 10. So x z by y square is equal to, okay, sorry, x z by y square. Okay, there is no minus, it is positive. Minus 5y into minus 2y, it is 10y square by y square, it is plus 10. So the correct answer for this question is option B, that is 10. Okay, there is no minus, so the correct answer becomes option B, that is 10. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. If the radius of the inner circle of a triangle with its sides are given as 5k, 6k and 5k is 12. We have to find the value of k. If the radius of the inner circle of a triangle with its sides 5k, 6k and 5k is 12, then the value of k is. So it is given that, okay, the circumradius is given as 12. And we know that delta by s is equal to 12. We can find delta as root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. We have the three sides given, a, b, c. A is 5k, b is 6k and c is 5k. So substituting and finding the value of s as a plus b plus c by 2. So 10k plus 6k, that is 16k by 2, s becomes 8k. Then root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c becomes root of 8k into 8k minus 5k, that is 3k. Then 8k minus 6k, that is 2k. And 8k minus 5k, that is 3k. So we have 8k into 3k into 2k into 3k, root of 144 into k raised to 4. So we have this as 12k square. So we have the value of delta and s and substituting it as 12k square by 8k equal to 12. So solving, we have 3k by 2 equal to 12. From that we can find the value of k. K will become 8. So this question, the k value of k becomes 8. So the correct answer is option C. Here in this question, radius of inner circle of triangle is given as 12. That is, circumradius is given as 12. And all the three sides are given. It is given as 5k, 6k and 5k. So we have the equation delta y is equal to 12, the circumradius. We already used in one question. We have solved in this question paper the same equation. So finding the value of k by substituting in the equation, we can have the value of k as 8. Okay. So the correct answer for this question is option C. Now moving on to the next question. Equation of a line which is parallel to the line common to the pair of the lines given. Two lines are given, that is 2x square plus 5xy minus 12y square equal to 0. Okay. And another line is x square plus xy minus 12y square. And also the sum of the intercepts on the axis is given as 5. Sum of these lines intercepts on the axis is given as 5. It is asked to find out the equation of the line. So let's see, we are having two equations and the sum of the intercepts are given. The pair of lines are given and the intercepts are given, and we have to find out the equation of the line that is common. Okay. So we have our equation as 2x square plus 5xy minus 12y square equal to 0 and x square plus xy minus 12y square equal to 0. So solving these two equations and finding out the roots. So 2x square plus 5xy minus 12y square equal to 0, we can write it as 2x minus 3y into x plus 4y. Similarly, x square plus xy minus 12y square equal to 0, we can write this as x minus 3y into x plus 4y. So we have one line in common, that is x plus 4y. So x plus 4y is the common. So we write it as equating it to k. So x plus 4y equal to k. We can write the equation as x plus 4y equal to k in terms of x by k plus 4y by k equal to 1. That 4y by k, we can write it as y by k by 4. It becomes 4y by k itself. Okay. So the intercept is given as, the value is given as 5. So substituting k plus k by 4 equal to 5, we can find the value of k equal to 4. So here substituting in the equation x plus 4y equal to k as x plus 4y equal to 4, we can have the equation of the line. That is common. So here we have two lines are given, and what we're going to do is we find the line which is in common. We find the solution or the root which is in common. We have x plus 4y as common. So we are equating it to k, and writing in terms of k, we know that k plus k by 4 equal to 5. From that, we found the value of k and substitute it in the equation x plus 4y equal to k. Here k is 4, so the equation becomes x plus 4y equal to k. So x plus 4y equal to k is 4. So x plus 4y equal to 4. The correct answer for this question is option B. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Let P be the point on the parabola y square equal to 8x. Let P be the point on the parabola given as y square equal to 8x. And it is also given that it is at a minimum distance from the center C of the circle, x square plus y plus 6 whole square equal to 1. So here we have the parabola, the equation is y square minus 8x, and the point P which is on the parabola is a minimum distance from the circle whose equation is x square plus y plus 6 whole square equal to 1, and the center of the circle is given as C. We have to find the equation of the circle which is passing through C and having its center at P. So here a circle and a parabola is given, and it is asked to find out the equation of another circle which is passing through the C and has the center at the point P on the parabola. So we are having two circles and a parabola here. On the parabola there is a point P, and the point P is at minimum distance from a circle, and we have to find the equation of another circle which is passing through C, and the center of the new circle, the second circle, is at P. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this question. So we have a diagram here. This is the parabola, and the parabola has a point P and a circle which is having the center as C. The equation of the circle is given as x square plus y plus 6 whole square equal to 1. We can find the equation of the center. We can find the coordinates of the center of the circle as 0, minus 6. Now let's go to the concept. It is given that when a line is drawn from the center C of the circle, okay, to the point P which is at the parabola. So the minimum distance of the line will come up when it is normal to the point P, normal to the parabola at the point P. So we know that the equation of the parabola is also given y square equal to 8x. So the coordinates we can write the coordinates as a square, 80 square, 280. So the coordinates at the point P on the parabola, we can write it as P of 80 square, 280. So we have the value of A as 2. So we have coordinates of P as 2t square plus 4t. Sorry, 2t square 4t. Substituting for A, we have P as 2t square 4t. Now we have to find the distance of CP. So we have the points of C and P. So we could find the distance as root of 2t square whole square plus 4t plus 6 whole square. So what we are going to write is, we are going to write this equation as root of f of t. And we have the equations that for the distance to be minimum, the differential should be 0. That is f dash of t becomes 0. So finding f dash of t, the equation we can replace it as 16t cube plus 32t plus 48 equal to 0. So solving this equation in simpler terms, we have two solutions, t plus 1 and t square minus t plus 3. Among this, the second solutions becomes imaginary. So the t equal to minus 1 will be the solution. Now substituting for t and finding out the coordinates of p. So the coordinates of p becomes 2 minus 4. Now we can find the distance CP as we have the value of t as minus 1. So the distance CP becomes 2 root 2. And it is asked to find out the equation of the circle which is passing through C and the center at the point P, that is 2, 4. Now we can substitute this in the equation of the circle and we can rearrange that. So it becomes x minus 2 whole square plus y plus 4 whole square equal to 2 root 2 whole square. X square plus y square equal to r square. So solving this, we can have the equation as 2 root 2 whole square is 8. So we can have the equation as x square plus y square minus 4x plus 8y plus 12 equal to 0. Okay. So here we have a parabola and we have a circle. The center is given at C. From the equation, we can find out the center. And there is point P. The coordinates for the parabola becomes 80 square and 280. From that, we can find out the distance CP. So substituting this equation, we have it as root of 4t raised to 4 plus 16t square plus 48t plus 36. We are writing this as root of f of t, CP as root of f of t. So it is given in the question that the minimum distance have to come. So this has to be normal to the point P, normal to the parabola at the point P. So for the minimum distance, f dash of t equal to 0. So differentiating this equation and finding out the solution, we have the value of t as minus 1. Substituting this t and finding out the value of p, we have p is equal to 2 minus 3. Sorry, minus 4. Then finding out the distance CP. So if we have the distance CP, we can find out the new equation of the circle. That is x minus 2 whole square plus y plus 4 whole square equal to 2 root 2 whole square. So rearranging it and finding the equation of the circle, it becomes x square plus y square minus 4x plus 8y plus 12 equal to 0. So x square plus y square minus 4x plus 8y plus 12 equal to 0. The correct answer is option A. Okay. Now moving on to the next question, that is question number 17. The differential equation y minus x dy by dx equal to 0 corresponds to the family of concentric circles, parabola, rectangular hyperbolas, straight line passing through the origin. So we have to find out y minus x dy by dx equal to 0 corresponds to which category of equation. So here we have y minus x dy by dx. We can write it as y equal to x dy by dx, that is y dx equal to x dy. Y dx minus x dy or y dx minus x dy equal to 0 or x dy minus y dx equal to 0. We know that this is the equation of a straight line. So it becomes equation of the straight line passing through the center. So simply rearranging this and finding out it as y dx minus x dy equal to 0. So this is the equation of the straight line which is passing through the origin or the center. Okay. So the correct answer becomes option D. Now moving on to the next question, that is question number 18. It is given that if x equal to 3i minus 6j minus k, y equal to I plus 4j minus 3k, z equal to 3i minus 4j minus 12k, then magnitude of projection of x cross y on z is. We have to find out the magnitude of projection of xy on z. So firstly, we have to find out xy. We have x and y. So equating the coordinates, we have xy is equal to 22i plus 8j plus 18k. Xy equal to, solving this, we have 22i plus 8j plus 18k. Now we have to find out magnitude on becomes x cross y into z by mod z. So we have the value of z here and we have mod z which is equal to root of I square plus j plus k, that is x plus y plus z square. Okay, x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, so we have it as, substituting these values and solving, we have it as minus 14. We can't take the value as negative, so we'll take the value as positive, that is 14 is the answer. So here the correct answer is 14, that is D. The magnitude of projection of xy on Z, the magnitude, it becomes positive value. So 14 is the answer. So we are finding the value of xy. Then the magnitude of projection can be found by multiplying it with Z by mod Z. So we have the value as 14. That is option C. Now the next question is, the distance of the point 1, 0, 2 from the point of intersection of the line x minus 2 by 3 equal to y plus 1 by 4 equal to z minus 2 by 12. And the equation of the plane is given as x minus y plus z equal to 16 is. The distance of the point 1, 0, 2. Point of intersection of line is given as x minus 2 by 3, y plus 1 by 4, z minus 2 by 12. And the equation of plane is given as x minus y plus z equal to 16. And we have to find out the distance of this point from point of intersection of the equation of this line and this plane. So we have to, firstly, we have to find out the point of intersection of the line and the plane. And then we have to find the distance between these 2 points. So here, the equation of the line is given as x minus 2 by 3 equal to y plus 1 by 4 equal to z minus 2 by 12. We are expressing it in terms of t, and we have the parametric form as 3t minus 2 equal to 3t plus 2, and the y as 4t minus 1, and the z as 12z plus 2. So we have the any point in the line. We are expressing this in the parametric form. That is 3t plus 2, 4t minus 1, and 12z plus 2. We have to find the point of intersection of the line and the plane. So what we are going to do is we are going to substitute these points in the equation of the plane. We have the equation of the plane as x minus y plus z equal to 16. So we have x as 3t plus 2, y as 4t minus 1, z as 12z plus 2. So substituting these equation and solving, we have 11t equal to 11. So we got the value of t as 1. Now we will get the, substituting for t is equal to 1, we can find the point of intersection of the line and the plane. So we got the points as 3 plus 2, 4 minus 1, 12 plus 2. So we got the point of intersection of the line and plane as 5, 3, 14. Now we have to find the distance between them. That is, already the point is given in the question as 102. So we have to find the distance between 102 and 5, 3, 14. So we can find the distance of x2 minus x1 using the root of 5 minus 1 whole square plus 3 minus 0 whole square plus 14 minus 2 whole square. So the equation is root of 4 square plus 3 square plus 12 square. So we have root of 169. So it becomes 13. We are given equation of line and plane. So finding the parametric form and substituting it in the equation of the plane, we have the value of t. We can find the point of intersection of the line and the plane. And we have a point given in the question, and with the point of intersection of line and plane and finding the distance from the point given in the question, we can have the answer. So we have the answer for this question as 13. So checking among the option, the correct answer for this question is option D. Now the next question is question number 20. If x1, x2, etc. xn and 1 by h1, 1 by h2, etc. 1 by hn are 2 APs such that it is given that x3 equal to h2 equal to 8 and x8 equal to h7 equal to 20. And it is asked to find out x5 into h10. So we are given 2 APs, x1, x2, etc. xn, 1 by h1, 1 by h2, etc. 1 by hn. Okay. And it is also given that x3 equal to h2 equal to 8 and x8 equal to h7 equal to 20. We have to find x5 and h10. Okay. So here we could solve this question by taking one AP at a time. Okay. So we know that an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 into d. So similarly, from the first AP, we can write the equation as x3 equal to x1 plus 2d and x8 becomes x1 plus 7d. In the question, the values are given as x3 equal to h2 equal to 8 and x8 equal to h7 equal to 20. So we found the equation for, we developed the equation for x3 and x8. So x3 becomes x1 plus 2d and x8 becomes x1 plus 7d. So subtracting these two equations, we have x8 minus x3 equal to 5d. We have the value of x3 and x8, that is x3 is 8 and x8 is 20. So 20 minus 8, that is 12 by 5 becomes d, that is d equal to 2.4. So substituting for d, we can find the value of x5. We can write x5 from this series as x5 equal to x1 plus 4d. This x1 plus 4d, we can replace it as x1 plus 2d plus 2d. x1 plus 2d, we know x3. We have the value of x3 with us. So we are substituting this x5 equal to x1 plus 2d as x3. So we can rewrite x5 as x3 plus 2d. We know that x3 is 8 and d we have 2.4. So xy equal to 8 plus 2 into 2.4. So we have x5 as 12.8. Okay. In the question, it is asked to find out x5 and, in the question, it is asked to find out x5 and h10. So here, writing for x3 and x8 and subtracting the equation, we have the value of d. And we know that x5, we can write it as x1 plus 4d. So x1 plus 2d plus 2d. So x1 plus 2d is x3. So replacing it with x3 and substituting the value of x3 and d, we can have the value of x5. We got the value of x5 as 12.8. Similarly, another series is given, that is 1 by h1, 1 by h2, etc., 1 by h1. So we can write 1 by h2 equal to 1 by h1 plus d. And also in the question, 1 by h7 is given. 1 by h7 equal to 1 by h6 plus 6d. We write these equations on AB. And while subtracting these equations, we can have 1 by h7 minus 1 by h2 equal to 5d. We have the value of h7 and h2. Substituting this, we can have the value as d is equal to minus 3 by 200. And in the question, it is asked to find out 1 by h10. We can write 1 by h10 as 1 by h1 plus 9d. This 9d, we can split it as 6d plus 3d. So 1 by h1 plus 6d, we have the value of h7. So 1 by h1 plus 6d becomes 1 by h7 plus 3d. The value of h7 is given in the question as 20. So 1 by h10 is equal to 1 by 20 plus 3 into, already we have found the value of d as minus 3 by 200. So 1 by h10 becomes 1 by 200. So h10 equal to 200. So we have to find the value of x5 into multiplied by h10. So x5 we found it as 12.8 and h10 we found it as 200. So multiplying it, we have it as x5 into h10 as 2560. Now checking among the option, we have, this option is wrong, 2560. That is the correct answer for this question is option A, 2560. Okay. So these are the mathematics sessions. So every question is cleared, I think. Now I will stop sharing. So Prashant sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. The questions of mathematics session is completed.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I just want to know whether there is any choice. There are few questions from students actually.
Okay, sir, tell me.
Yeah, sure. Just a second, ma'am. More questions are regarding the AAA exams. Actually,
Okay.
students are more confused, I think. So
actually, I think you can get this PDF. If you want this PDF, you can just mail me. I have it with me. I am typing my mail ID here. If you want, you can directly mail me.
Yeah, sure. For the students, we will be uploading the this recordings in the CBT portal, the same portal where you are attending the entrance exam practice test. So probably in another 3 to 4 days, you can just log into the CBT portal and you can find this recording. And actually, yeah, one of the student wants he just want you to repeat question number one once again. First question.
Just a minute, sir. Okay, it is a somewhat complicated question. Just a minute.
So before that, students, request you to, we have shared one link, a feedback link. I request all the students to fill the link so that it will help us to improve the session next time also. Just provide your feedback. And again, tomorrow we'll be having one practice test. Every Sunday we used to keep JEE AAA practice test. So tomorrow also we'll be having one practice test at 4 o'clock. So the website I have already shared in the chat box. I'll be sharing once again. So you can just go to and register if you haven't registered yet. So while registering, just take a note that if you have already applied for Amrita entrance examination, please don't use the same mail ID and mobile number. Just register again using new credentials and you can log in and attend the test tomorrow by 4 o'clock. So this test will help you a lot in attending your AAA entrance examination that is going to happen by next week. So students, I'm just typing the website in the chat box. You can just go to that website and you can register again. Over to you.
Okay. So question number 1. Consider the circle x square plus y square equal to 9 and the parabola y square equal to 8x. So we have a circle and a parabola with us. Both equations are given. Circle is x square plus y square equal to 9 and parabola is y square equal to 8x. So it is given that they intersect at point P and Q in the first and fourth quadrant. They means the circle and the parabola, they are intersecting at 2 points P and Q in the first and the fourth quadrant. And tangents to the circle at P and Q intersect the x-axis at R, and tangents to the parabola at P and Q intersect the x-axis at S. Okay. So just have a look at the diagram. We have the circle here, we have the parabola here. Okay. So y square equal to 8x, we know it is given as the equation of the parabola. So what we are going to do is we are substituting for this y square in the equation of circle and finding out the roots. So we have x equal to minus 9 and 1, and we will choose the positive root, that is x equal to 1. And we have to find the value of y square by substituting this x. So y square becomes plus or minus 2 root 2. We know that it will intersect at 2 points. The parabola and the circle will intersect at 2 points P and Q. So we can write it as 1 2 root 2, 1 minus 2 root 2. Now what we have to do is we have to find R and S. R is the point of intersection at the x-axis and S is also at the x-axis. R is the point which is made by the tangents to the circles P and Q. And tangents to the parabolas at the P and Q, they meet at S. Okay, so we have to find the value of R and S. We have the equation of circle with us. So we can rewrite this as x(x1) plus y(y1) equal to 9. So substituting the value for x and y, and we know that at the point y equal to 0, we can have x as 9. So we have R as 9, 0. Then using the equation of parabola y square equal to 8x, we can rewrite it as y(y1) equal to 4x plus x1. So substituting y equal to 0, we can have the point. Sorry, this is not Q, this is S. Okay, S as minus 1, 0. So we found all the values here, all the point values here. Now in the question, it is asked to find out the radius of in circle of triangle PQR. We know the equation is delta by S. We have to find the area of triangle PQR. We can write it as half into PQ into RT. We can find the distance of RT. Okay, let me take the figure. Okay, this is the distance RT test. 9 minus 1, that is 8. And also we have all the points in all the, we have P, Q and R, all the values with us. Now we can find the distance easily by finding the root of x2 minus x1 whole square, that equation. So we have PQ and RT. PQ becomes 4 root 2 and RT becomes 8. So we have it as 16 root 2. Okay. Now we have to find the value of S. S equal to A plus B plus C by 2. We found the value of PQ, QR and PR. So substituting these values, we can have the value of S. So the equation is delta by S. So the area is 16 root 2 and S becomes 8 root 2. So dividing this, we can have the radius as 2. Okay. So just write down this question. I'll send you this question. So, and you can have it in the portal also. So you can do these questions by yourself. If you feel any doubt, you can mail to me. Okay. I'll surely reply to everyone who mails to me. Okay.
And there is a query for question number 12 also.
Okay, sir. Just a minute.
Yes.
Okay. For solving the question number 12, you only have to have an idea of that formula. Then you can easily solve this question. It's simply a direct question. Okay. It is asked as integral over 4 to 10 x square by x square plus x square minus 28x plus 196. Here we are using the property of the definite integrals. You have studied it in the mathematics section. That is, I is equal to integral over a to b f of x dx equal to integral over a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So just substitute this for a, b and x. So a is 4, b is 10. Integral over a to b. A is 4, b is 10. Substitute it and we can rearrange and rewrite this equation as integral over 4 to 10 x minus 14 whole square by x square plus x minus 14 whole square. So f of a plus b minus x becomes 4 plus 10 minus x whole square divided by 4 plus 10 minus x minus 14 whole square plus 4 plus 10 minus x whole square. Solving this equation, we can arrive at the I equal to integral over 4 to 10 x minus 14 whole square by x square plus x minus 14 whole square. You can solve it. Okay. Then adding both this equation, I have forgot to write add. So adding these both equations A and B, we can have 2y is equal to integral over 4 to 10. The denominator is same. So it becomes x square plus x minus 14 whole square. The numerator also becomes x minus 14 whole square plus x square. So 2y is equal to integral over 4 to 10. The both of them get cancelled and it becomes 1 dx. So applying the limit, it is 6. So 2y equal to 6, we can have the value of I is equal to 3. Okay. So you have to have an idea about that formula, then you can easily solve this question. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, I think there is some confusion for tomorrow's test. So tomorrow's test is not going to be in remote proctored. Okay. You just have to register at www.amritacbtpractice.in, which I have already typed in the chat box. You just have to register that there and log in by tomorrow 4 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock, the interview link will come in that portal. So just have to click the link and you can attend the test. So for tomorrow, it is not going to be any remote proctored. Remote proctored test will be coming in next second week of July. There will be mock test before the original exam. So you can attend that mock test followed by the AAA entrance examination. So again, there are a few, many of the students wants physics and chemistry classes also. As you know that we have some restricted time, so we are not able to complete all the 3 subjects altogether. But don't worry, in coming weeks, we will be trying to go with the other 2 subjects also. So we will be having this type of sessions in coming weeks also. We will be sending you the mail link and everything, so you can attend without any fail. So anyway, I think so. Ma'am, can we wind up? Is there anything else to say?
Yeah, I have sent my mail ID in the chat box, and if you're having any doubts, you can directly contact me. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you can, ma'am has already shared her mail ID, so you can note it down. If you have any queries, you can just mail to her. She will try to solve it as soon as possible. And again, thank you so much. All the best. It's going to be a hectic time for you, I know, because the exams are going on right now. So try to learn more, practice more. We hope that we can meet you also in Amrita itself. So if you haven't applied for Amrita, please apply it soon, because probably by July 5th, I think this application is going to close. So you can, if you haven't applied, just apply it soon and attend the entrance exam. And all the best. All the best, and thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Lakshmi.
So just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay. Just a minute, students. I'll be displaying my mail ID now. So not all are able to see that in chat box, I think. So I'll just display it. Okay. Yeah, this is my mail ID. It is m_lakshmi1@cv.amrita.edu. Okay. So if there is anything, you can mail to this mail ID. Okay.
You can
Okay,
mail to
sir,
this
that's
ID. Yeah. And
Yeah.
okay, so all the best. So if you have any queries regarding the AAA entrance exam, you can just visit our website. I will just type the website also. So you can check this website.
I'm also typing it here. Amrit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Every
can just
detail
go-
regarding exam is there in this website, the
Yes,
instructions and everything.
Yeah, and students who haven't applied till now, you can just go to the website and you can apply it. So about the fee structure, about the timing, date, and everything is being displayed in the website. So you can just go through that. So again, we do have our counselors toll-free number, and everything. Contact numbers are also provided in that website. So you can just go through that. And again, don't forget to attend tomorrow's practice test, which will help you a lot. So thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
wonderful
sir.
session.
Thank you.
And thank you, Nija, for conducting this session also. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you,
we
sir.
will be uploading this link in another 2 to 3 days. You can just go to our same practice test portal and check the recordings. Okay. Thank you all. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you all.